Normally, whenever you call up a top 100, top 100-ish prospect, it comes with the mindset that they're up here for good. Maybe it's out of your control, like a spot start for a pitcher, but normally, position player wise, you call someone like that up, it's with the mindset that they could stay up here for the rest of the year. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what this case is here, but it is an intriguing, aggressive, and may I just say, good promotion that the Pirates made on Tuesday. Good morning and welcome to Offbeat here on North Shore 9 presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf and this is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates. After Sunday's game, the Pirates optioned Nick York to the minors, pretty much signaling that they were going to be calling up an outfielder to semi-replace Ryan O'Hearn, who is going to be on the injured list for a matter of weeks. And there were a couple legitimate options that the Pirates had already on the 40-man roster. And we're just going to look at the 40-man, assuming someone like Ronnie Simon isn't a serious option at the time because they don't want to DFA someone. But they had Tyler Callahan, who they acquired this spring training for Kyle Nicholas, and it's someone that they had liked for a while. They liked him for a while. They tried to acquire him last year. Didn't come through. Have the opportunity now. Got him in spring training. He's off to a slow-ish start in Indianapolis, swinging the bat a little better of late, but still a sub 700 OPS. But he's 26. He's someone that they had targeted before. There was a case to be made. Well, yeah, call him up. Pirates pass. Another option is Merlin Valdez, someone who I am high on. I think he has the potential to be a quality major league player. He's hitting the ball pretty well. He's been pretty steady in Indy. Like nothing has been otherworldly. He's just been day in, day out producing good at bats. The OPS was in the mid 800s. I kind of thought that he was going to be the guy who got called up here because the Pirates have other options in the outfield. We saw Jared Triolo get a couple starts out there. I don't know if I really saw the vision there or if it was a long-term answer, but he made a couple appearances out in right field, including a start on Sunday. I liked the idea. Whatever I said, Jared Triolo, keep him in the lineup. It was to put him at third base where he's a Gold Glover, not the outfield where he's humming a few bars. But that was an option. Jake Mangum, that was an option. They had, if you really want to get, nihilistic with it, Marcell Ozuna might be able to fill in there on the very, 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 very limited term basis. But that's why I kind of thought maybe it'd be Valdez. That there's just a couple mouths to feed. And O'Hearn's injury is going to be a matter of weeks, but weeks is not months. It's something that if there is no real setback with the injury, we could see him again at some point in June. So do you really want to call up your top outfield prospect? Jhostynxon Garcia, who for the sake of me not stammering over names and words will henceforth be referred to by his nickname, Password. Password was on the injured list for a while with a lower back ailment, came off of the injured list last week, immediate 3-home run game. And it's one of those types of performances where it's like, you know what? He might be ready. He might be ready for an opportunity. And then an opportunity arises up at the major league level. And credit to the Pirates here. They know the optics of, you like these top prospects to come up and stay up, and maybe there is an opportunity there, but you know what? This is too important a year. And this is a team that needs a boost after a really bad series against the Phillies. This is a team that had high expectations this whole year. And they called him up. And I think it's the right call. Because this is a team that is in a spot right now that they can't get cute with it. They can't get cute with Tyler Callahan, he and Mangum, maybe they could platoon, figure something out there. I mean, Callahan, we liked him for a while. He's 26 years old. He needs an opportunity. No, no, not right now. Not whenever the OPS starts with a 6 in AAA. Things have to be kind of dire to get to that point. You can't afford to give a lot of major league at bats to someone like that right now, unless you feel really confident. And I tell you who I'm a lot more confident in, the guy who's a fringe top 100 prospect who just hit 3 home runs. He got the start on Tuesday, batting sixth, playing right field. This is a big spot for him. He got that quick cup of coffee in Boston last year, but this is really his real first opportunity. And he didn't break camp with the Pirates in part because he needed everyday reps. Did he play well enough to make the team out of spring training? In my opinion, yes. If everything was equal, he probably would have made the team. But I think it was the right call to start him in Indy. He needed reps, and we talked about how there was no flexibility really in the outfield a lot in April. I didn't see how he was going to get the reps to get better. There's still development to be done. There's still areas that he could grow. And while he could have probably helped the major league team, it was the right call. And it's for moments like this where you see a really important part of this offense go down with injury. And O'Hearn has big shoes to fill. And I'm not saying that Password has to fill those shoes, but they need production. They need production from the bottom half of the lineup. They need production from more right-handed bats. They need pop from a right-handed bat. And there's a lot of things here that he is a candidate to be the answer. There's the question, and here's the password. We're going to talk a little bit more about him in about 84 seconds.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Password is a work in progress. There's some real good upside here. Like defensively, he is fast enough, in my opinion, and just what I've heard around the league. He is fast enough and has the fielding tools that he probably could play center field. They aren't going to move O'Neal Cruz off of his position, so he's going to go to a corner, presumably right field, keep Brian Reynolds in left. But he has that type of range. He has that type of fielding ability. Okay. Swing. There's pop there. I mean, we're talking about 3 homer games here in the AAA. Like, there is some serious pop there. So, it's toolsy. He's toolsy, but there's high upside. That's why he was considered a top 100 prospect not that long ago. There's also a lot of swing and miss in his game. And I had heard from scouts and just the general buzz around him whenever they acquired him, it was, is there a hole in the bat? Is there going to be just too much swing and miss in his game? And that's a fair criticism. It's something that he is going to have to continue to work on. It's part of the development that we talked about. But you know how you develop? You get reps, you get opportunities. And I think that the kind of floor that he presents here as a toolsy outfielder who will occasionally run into one is probably higher than if they were just to give Callahan or Mangum, a platoon or one of them starting. Valdez is the only one who I think like his ceiling or middle outcome or whatever it is probably higher than the floor of what Garcia can bring here. Like, yeah, maybe Garcia strikes out, 30 something percent of the time up here, but there's just that threat of whenever he connects, it could go far. You know where you've heard this? Of a toolsy young player who's, there's development still to be done, but, have it be done at the major league level because there is some really good upside. And whenever he makes contact, he can drive the ball. It's Connor Griffin. I'm not saying that he's the same level of prospect here, but it's the same mindset pretty much of whenever you need that opportunity, whenever there is that opportunity and you need someone to step up, give it to a high upside player. I covered this team for a lot of years whenever there weren't a lot of major league ready high upside players. And Password seems to be major league ready. This is as ready as he's probably going to be. And if he excels, if he holds down that outfield job, I think you have a very interesting conversation in 4 weeks' time or whenever O'Hearn gets back. Not saying that, O'Hearn's, at risk of losing his job. He's obviously not. And if he was to go to like play more first base, well, okay, well, Spencer Horwitz has been doing really good. You could find spots for him as well. But like, is there a way that Garcia just never has to ride the bus again? If he excels, can you find a way to keep the bat in the lineup 5-6 times a week? I think there are ways to do it. Whether that's O'Hearn playing some first base and Horwitz going over to second or something like that, or if it's less Marcell Ozuna at bats, or maybe someone else, gets banged up and there's just more playing time opportunity. But I think there is a path where he just stays up here. Not saying that it's guaranteed to happen. He has to earn it, but this is the opportunity. And this is at a pivotal point of the Pirates season. This is a point where they need a spark. I can't help but make a parallel to the 2023 season, where the Pirates were above 500, not as high of expectations going into the year. It was definitely a weaker roster in general, but in mid-May, they were floundering. And they had some top 100 prospects in AAA that they didn't call up until June. And I hold no misgivings. I didn't think the 2023 team was, a serious contender. But I've just been thinking about that a little bit compared to now. Here we are in mid-June, or mid-May. I'm sorry, mid-May. Team's coming off a really bad series. They are in a position where they are facing more adversity than they probably have all year. So what do? They call up their best major league ready hitting prospect. It's an aggressive move. It's one that could create a bit of a headache whenever O'Hearn gets back. But you know what? That would be a champagne problem. And this is a team that needs some more steadying forces in the lineup, especially right-handed. Let's see if the top prospect can do it. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you find a fine podcast, and check us out on YouTube if you want to see my smiling face. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucs.